Okay, I just wanted to do a quick video on buffalo elephants and artisans, the cards that you can purchase here next to the bank. So whenever you want to buy one of these cards from the bank, you just go ahead and deduct 5 from the rice bank. And then suppose you wanted to buy a buffalo, you just go ahead and you put that on top of that laborer, and then that's going to instantly double that rice production at the next harvest, okay? If you're going to buy an elephant, you need to have a laborer who is not growing rice, yeah? And then you go ahead and just put that on top. Now, you need to pair your buffaloes and elephants with people, all right? So now up here, like, we're going to have to still feed this laborer every round, but you don't have to feed the buffalo at the harvest. Whereas down here, you have a laborer with an elephant. As soon as you add that elephant, you can go ahead and do some building. So if this is your hand, you can go ahead and add 2 cards because the laborer with the elephant allows you to do 2 constructions. So you can go ahead and put that laterite down and then the sandstone on top of it, okay? All right, now the cards in your hand that you find in the deck that are find a buffalo and find an elephant, those work the exact same way. So if you happen to have those 2 cards in your hand, you would be able to do the same thing. This is just like, these are free buffaloes and elephants. You don't have to pay for them. So if you have one of these in your hand, you can just go ahead and take that and add it to your laborer, and then that doubles that rice production. And if you happen to have a find an elephant in your hand, you can go ahead and just add that to your laborer in the village. Again, you're gonna need to feed this combination 3 at the harvest, and you're gonna need to feed this combination here just 1, right? But this doubles that rice production. So when you get to the harvest, you're gonna get +6 here, but then you're gonna have to subtract 1, 2, 3, 4, all right? So basically the big difference here is just that these are buffaloes and elephants that you have to purchase from the rice bank, but you can use them immediately. And the find a buffalo and find an elephant are just free buffaloes and elephants. You don't have to redeem them for anything. You can just go ahead and use them from your hand right away into your village, okay? Now, one other difference here is the difference between, in the bank you have an artisan's chisel versus you can find an artisan, okay? Now the difference here is that this is a tool that you can train your laborer. So if we have a laborer here who's not doing any rice farming, we can go ahead and buy one of these cards for 5 rice credits. So you deduct that from the bank, and then you go ahead and you add that to your laborer, okay? Now he's a laborer trained with a chisel. So he's now an artisan. And so on that turn, if this was your turn, you can go ahead and carve this piece right here by flipping it over, and now that piece is complete, okay? Now, that's a little bit different than the artisan card, okay? Because this is still a laborer with a chisel that you're gonna have to feed him 1, okay? This guy here is actually an artisan. He's an already trained laborer. That's why they have the 1 there to show you how much you have to feed him, okay? So this artisan card is the same as a laborer trained with a chisel. You would each have to feed 1 of them at the end of the turn when you do the harvest, but they can do the same type of work, okay? One other thing, just to clarify, even if you had an elephant, okay, at any point you can free your elephants. Like if you suppose you don't want this elephant anymore, or you don't need that elephant, on your turn you can go ahead and discard that, but you have to like throw it away. You have to throw it into the discard pile, okay? Now, if you wanted to train that laborer as an Apsara, what you do is, you can see that this Apsara is actually a person, yeah? And your laborer there is a person. So what you'd want to do is go ahead and pay 5 credits to train this guy as an Apsara, and then just go ahead and discard that card, and then you can go ahead and put the Apsara at the temple. Alternatively, you could just stack them on top and put them like this. Just make sure that, again, like you only have to feed them 1, so I prefer discarding that card because now that laborer has simply been converted into an Apsara. Okay?